guys, I'm Fanny from Mobility Training. Today I'm going to take you through one of the stretches that I have found to be most impactful on the body, and it gets into the hip flexors and the quads as well, depending on how you go about it. So this is a tutorial, so you can actually follow along if you like. So what you need is a space where you can utilize the wall and some kind of object that you can support yourself on at the front. So I'm going to start stretching my left side. So I'm going to place my knee a distance from the wall that is not too tough to get into this sort of position. Okay? So we're going to first of all try to square the hip up. We're going to tuck the pelvis under just a little bit. Not so much that you have to squeeze the glutes the whole time, but a little bit of tension there can help. Then this front leg, try to position it so that the foot is in front of the knee, just to give a little bit of space for the hip to actually move forward. And from here, we want to stay upright, making sure that the ribs are not falling forward like this with the pelvis as well. We actually want to keep that tucked under, and we want to keep the ribs back a little bit so that you are a little bit more upright. Now, you can move this object around however you feel like, but gradually we want to try and relax into this position and move the hips slightly further forward. And you probably won't see too much movement in my hip, but it is gradually relaxing and moving forward. So with the breathing in this position, try to breathe in and out through the nose as much as you can, and then just let the whole belly area relax as much as you can as well. So when we do this type of stretching, we are looking to get into a position where you can relax almost, and then get into a deeper position second. So if you go into a position where you feel like, oh, this is a little bit too much, and you tense up, and the way you normally feel that or can see that on other people is that the shoulders come up like this. So if you feel like that is happening, try to actually bring the knee off the wall a little bit and get into a position where that does not happen. Now from here, we are going to utilize some contract relax techniques as well. So the contraction for getting into the quad, which is usually the tightest structure in this position for people, is to press the toes or the forefoot into the wall. And you can do that by gradually moving into a contraction, and it's not an all or nothing contraction. It's more of a 30% contraction or so. And you hold it for 5-10 seconds, and then you pull out of that contraction. And this is an isometric contraction, so you're not actually moving your body when you do it. So if you look at me, I gradually press in, and I hold that for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and gradually come out of that as well. Hopefully, the brain will perceive this as a safe range of motion to do some work, and it will allow you in further. So you take a deep breath, and you relax, and without just letting the pelvis tilt, you actually want to move the hip more sort of this direction. And you can move the front foot further forward as you do this. You keep breathing. I usually say 3 to 5 breaths in between the contractions is good. I don't like to time the stretch that you are doing per side, because it's an external thing that you need to keep track on, and it takes the attention away from the stretch. So if you can rather focus on doing 3 contractions and 3 to 5 breaths in between that in a relaxed manner and slow manner, then that is a better idea, I think. To come out of this, when you've done enough work here, lean forward, bring the other leg down, and then slowly come down to the side. Stand up and very softly move around. So you don't want to shake it off and stuff like that. It can feel a little bit tender, being in the new range of motion or a very deep range of motion that you are not normally in. So be a little bit gentle on it, but you definitely go for a little stroll, walk around a little bit before you get into the second leg. So we're going to do it on the second leg as well. So you place the foot on the wall with the knee a distance from the wall that you feel okay being in to start with. Okay. Now square the hip up, tuck the pelvis under a little bit, and move this foot so far forward that you can have a little bit of space here to move the hip forward. I should mention as well that the foot on the wall can be with toes pointed, or it can be with toes flexed, and that doesn't really matter. Whatever you feel is most comfortable. So I'm settling into the stretch, making sure that my ribs are held back a little bit and I'm upright. The reason for that being is that it's easier to get into the hip flexor if you're staying upright. For most of you, it probably will get into the quad mainly and not so much the hip flexor or especially the psoas major. But with practice, you will. So here I'm going to do a contraction. I'm pressing my toes into the wall, holding for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and I release that. Moving into it. 3 to 5 breaths in between the contractions, and then I go again. And when I've done my 3 contractions and 3 to 5 breaths in between, I lean forward, and then I can either bring this down or I can actually come down to the side with that one. And I will stand up and move around a little bit, just softly. Now, this stretch is an excellent stretch to do by yourself, but you can do it as a partner stretch as well, which is another difficulty to work together with someone else. But this is a good place to start, and don't worry if you only feel the quad to start with. The hip flexors will get into it at some stage later on when this is cleared up, and there is plenty more contractions and nuances that we can add to this stretch once you get there.